Hello. Welcome to the Minnesota Historical Society Library. I take it this is your first visit. Great. We're glad you came. By way of introduction, I should explain that we don't operate like many other libraries. We've been collecting books, manuscripts, and archival materials since our founding in 1849. So most of our stuff here is pretty unique. That means we have to be extra careful with them, so none of these items circulate outside our building. We also ask that visitors not bring food or drink into the reading rooms, use pens when taking notes, or use flash photography. It's okay to have a laptop or to use a digital camera to copy most things. You'll need to ask the staff for the camera use form, and be sure to turn off the flash. Portable scanners are also a no. There are two separate rooms that you might do your research in. This is the Weyerhaeuser reading room. A variety of materials are accessible here. The library materials can be found in the library catalog, which is available on our website and can be searched anytime, 24/7. Now, since the library has a large collection with many different kinds of materials, I'm sure you'd like some explanation of the kind of resources and services that are available to you here. If you ask my colleagues over here at the reference desk, I'm sure they'll be glad to help you.
Hi. We have a lot of different types of materials here in the Weyerhaeuser room.
Books, of course, make up a large part of the collections. In fact, the library has over 500,000 books, periodicals, pamphlets, and other such printed materials. But you wouldn't know it just looking at the shelves here in the reading room. Most of these are held in shelving areas that are not open to public access, but library staff is happy to retrieve items for use within the reading room. Our collections include county histories, published family histories, city directories, Minnesota published items, works of Minnesota authors, biographies, and much more. These resources focus on Minnesota history, but also include materials on the Upper Midwest and Minnesota's part in U.S. and international issues.
Beyond books, do you think you might be interested in looking at some manuscript collections? Not sure what manuscripts are? Well, no need to be ashamed. It can be a confusing term. The term manuscripts is used to describe a group of papers created by an individual, a family, a business, or an organization. It can include a wide variety of documents and records, such as business and personal correspondence, diaries and journals, legal and financial documents, photographs, and architectural drawings, among other things. The materials may not even be in their original paper format. Many of our manuscripts have been microfilmed or digitized to preserve the original items. Examples of manuscripts from our collections range from a single letter from a Civil War soldier to hundreds of boxes of Harold Stassen papers. Family manuscript collections include the papers of Celia Tower Forstner, who worked as a servant at James J. Hill's Summit Avenue house, as well as the papers of James J. Hill and family. Business collections may be the documents of a small St. Paul grocery store or hundreds of boxes of Northern Pacific Railroad records. We have a lot of manuscript collections. You'll want to check the catalog for items of interest.
The Minnesota Historical Society Library is also the proud home of the Minnesota State Archives. Materials that are part of the State Archives collections include historical, state, and local government records. In this collection, you will find the records of governors, state hospitals, the prisons, and more. You can also find records of the state agencies, such as the Attorney General, the Health Department, and the U.S. Land Office, just to name a few. In the local government part of the collection are located the records of the county agencies, including naturalizations, probate court, as well as township and city records. All of these collections have finding aids, which include useful descriptions of how materials are organized, so they'll help you find what you're looking for.
Maps and atlases make up another important part of the Minnesota Historical Society's collections. There are 19,000 maps and almost 2,000 atlases in the MHS library. Most of the maps depict Minnesota Territory and the state of Minnesota, its regions, counties, and cities. Many of these are quite large, so we ask that they be viewed at a special map table to make sure they're well supported. Many of the atlases are county plat books that show rural property holdings, township by township, for a given year, Another large group are fire insurance atlases, large-scale maps of cities and towns that detail all the structures on a city lot.
Other aspects of Minnesota's history are captured in sound recordings. In our sound recording collection, you'll find, for instance, evidence of Minnesota's rich impact on the music world, from Bob Dylan, Prince, The Replacements, to recordings of the Polka Padre, and school and college bands, or Francis Densmore's recordings of Dakota and Ojibwe music. We also have recordings of oral history interviews on such topics as the Greatest Generation, Minnesota Women's Press, Rondo Oral History, and the Minnesota resort industry, just to name a few.
Not only do we have sound, we also have visuals from Minnesota's past. You can search and view images of people, places, and topics in Minnesota history using a database on our website. You can even order your own reproductions through the database. From Duluth to Rock County, Little Crow to Rosalie Wall, wrestling to cooking, we have it all. Other photos can be found in manuscript and government records collections and by searching photograph collections or photograph albums as a subject search in our catalog.
The MHS Library also collects films, videotapes, and DVDs. You will find both amateur and professional films and videos in the collection. Topics from maple sugaring to the Minnesota State Fair are covered. There are VCRs and DVD players with headphones in the reading room for all your viewing needs. We also have newspapers, most of which are on microfilm and can be found across the hall in the Hubs room.
Hi, the Ronald M. Hubs room is home to the library's microfilm and microfiche collections, as well as the machines used to read them. Microfilming helps us protect fragile original documents, allows us to make efficient use of our storage space, and makes looking through large and cumbersome collections faster and easier. Newspapers make up the largest part of our microfilm collection, and they can be a wonderful source of information about everything from world-changing historical events to family news. Collecting newspapers has been an important part of the Minnesota Historical Society since its start. Our earliest newspapers from Minnesota date back to 1849. Today, with more than 3 million issues, we have the world's largest collection of Minnesota newspapers, and every part of the state is represented, from Ada to Zumbrota. In addition to the newspapers, a wide variety of other materials are available for your use on microfilm as well. Some of the most popular of these are naturalization records and death certificates, which help genealogists learn about the lives of their ancestors. There are also city directories for Duluth, Minneapolis, and St. Paul that provide information about people and businesses, and Sanborn and Rasher fire insurance maps that show the locations and footprints of buildings. Atlases, plat books, dissertations, census records, manuscript collections, and more are all available on microfilm. Here in the Hubs room, things are self-service, so you can dive right into your research without waiting for anything to be retrieved for you. You can get your own materials from the drawers, and you can make your own copies using the reader printer machines. But always remember that self-service doesn't mean that you're on your own. We're always here to help. If you ever need assistance finding materials or using a machine, please ask at the Hubs reference desk.
Are you feeling a bit overwhelmed? Well, that's understandable. Fortunately, the library offers a number of services to help you be successful in your research. Staff at the reference desk can help you with answers to your research questions or help you locate items of interest. You're welcome to use one of our library computers. The computers are useful for searching the library catalog or making use of our digital indexes and research guides. The library catalog, many databases and finding aids, as well as a growing collection of digitized materials are available on our website at all times. Some of the subscription databases only available in the library include Ancestry.com, Sanborn Fire Insurance Maps, and digital newspapers. Free Wi-Fi is available if you have a laptop or other mobile computing device. The library is also home to a number of finding aids. Finding aids can be a researcher's best friend, helping them find otherwise buried information. Some finding aids are rather antiquated, like the card catalogs labeled biographies and Civil War soldiers. Binders, which can include detailed inventories with box-by-box descriptions of the contents of a manuscript or government records collection, are another type of finding aid. Many of these are now online. Since many of our collections are in closed stacks, we have staff who will retrieve books, boxes, and other materials you request and deliver them to your table. Photocopies are made by staff and copy services. This is also the place to order copies of oversized drawings, maps, and media. Even if you're not physically at the library, you can make use of some of our services. During library hours, the phone desk is staffed with librarians who can assist with reference questions. Researchers may also utilize our fee-based research services, hire a freelance researcher, or borrow microfilm via interlibrary loan.
You look tired. Yes, that was a lot to take in, but we hope it was helpful to you. And just remember, we've only gone over some of the more frequently used resources that we have here. We hope you'll come back again and explore them more fully. In the meantime, you can always ask us if you've got any more questions, and happy researching.